So first, you can grab your reflective journal and think about how you would speak to someone you love, who you care about. So think about someone in your life who you hold close, maybe a close friend. I know I often talk to my girlfriends and things like that, and I'm much gentler with them about situations that they're in compared to the situations I'm in. So step one, I want you to think about a situation in your life that might have shaped you, right? Because we talked about our culture, our experiences, the people in our lives shaping us. So we want to think, what's a situation in my life? It can be positive or negative, right? It's really important to pay attention to the positive experiences because they also fuel that little voice that says like, hey, you are really good at this. So you can start with a positive one. I recommend that if just hearing me talk about this feels a bit big right now. Start with a positive one or a negative one. Then step two, I want you to write the situation. And there's a left-hand box or just make a little column in your journal. But you're gonna write the story of you in third person. So you're gonna be like, if I were writing it about me, I'd be like, Maggie went to the store. Maggie experienced X, Y, and Z. It was hard for her, right? You're gonna write this out. I'm writing a story about me, about this situation. And if you can draw a column. And then on your left column, you can write like inner voice or thoughts. And I want you to just try your best. It's hard to multitask, but as you're writing your story, so this happened to Maggie, right? She experienced this hard thing. Now, when you're writing it, you might notice that little voice start to talk, right? And that's what we want to clue in on. When is that little voice coming up? What does it say, right? We got to get a hold on what it sounds like, because oftentimes we shut it out. We don't even realize it's there. So what we're trying to do is get used to hearing that voice, maybe a little louder, and really listen to what it's saying. What is it telling you about yourself? So when you're writing your story, the whole time if you can, on this left-hand column, if you're noticing that voice getting loud, saying like, I'm not good enough, or this story's stupid, all these judgments, even if they're positive, write them down. Because what we're trying to do is track what it's saying to us. You wanna write it down as best you can, verbatim, like write word for word, okay? So once we've done that, take a look at our story, maybe read it through once, and then I want you to look at your critical column, or these judgments or thoughts you had on this side. And all these negative thoughts, I want you to picture how would you ever say that to a friend, or how you might say that to a friend, or if you would at all. You can cross it out if you want. You can circle the things that speak most to you or when the voice was the loudest, right? After you take a look at this critical column, you're circling things, maybe the loudest voice, I want you to now picture that person that we talked about in the beginning reading you this story, right? Someone you care about, inserting their name instead of yours. Read that story as if that was a gift to you. They were like, listen, I need to talk to you about this thing. It's too hard to talk about in person. I wrote it down. And I want you to, again, in a different box or somewhere in your journal, maybe with a different color pen, write down how you might respond to all those critical thoughts that were previously written down. So this happened to Maggie. I wrote, I'm not good enough, right? If you were reading that, how might you respond to me? Would it be, that's not true? I don't believe that about you. That hurts me when you say it, right? We're trying to work on how we might respond to a friend. So I want you to take these positives or these kind of reframing of these negative thoughts, and I want you to sit with them for a minute. Put on a timer, anything you want, a minute, 60 seconds. I want you to sit there and read them. Kind of let them sink in. It might be hard too. We're not very good as people. Taking compliments is quite difficult. And plus, we're rewriting the story that's been in your mind for how many years? Some important people might have told you these things. So just try your best to sit with it. 60 seconds. I want you to select one or two, and I want you to rewrite that phrase, that kind of reframing or more positive way, or how you might respond to a friend, 2 times. I want you to write it out 2 times, or go look at yourself in a mirror. It sounds totally cheesy, but it works. So go look at yourself in the mirror and say it. Or just sit alone in a room and say it out loud. It feels good. That voice inside is really loud, and when we combat it with our voices, it talks back, right? It feels good. Maybe not at first, but hopefully with a little practice, we can make some moves. And like I said, try and start with a positive story if some of these negative stories that feel shaped you are too big.